Remember when Canada was wealthier than Montana? Fast forward to now, and it's poorer than Alabama. What went wrong? Let's explore why Canada's economy is falling behind America's. Welcome back to Veritalogic, and for those of you who are new here, I'm Sam, your host for YouTube Talks. I'm currently pursuing a PhD in economics, and yes, I have survived not one, but two of those business schools. Love economics? Love business? Well, you're in the right spot. Smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get ready to be informed. Today, we're diving into an article from The Economist. It's titled, "Why is Canada's Economy Falling Behind America's?" Canada and America are super connected through massive trade and movement across their 9,000-kilometer border. From 2009 to 2019, their economies grew almost in sync. America's GDP grew by 27%, and Canada's expanded by 25%. But things changed post-pandemic. By the end of 2024, America's economy will be 11% larger than it was 5 years ago, while Canada's will only have grown by 6%. Per capita, Canada's income will drop from 80% to 70% of America's by 2025, making Canada poorer than Alabama if it were a U.S. state. While the pandemic seemed to create a gap between Canada's and America's economies, it's actually about recent dynamics, not the pandemic itself. Sure, Canada faced a deeper recession in 2020 with a 5% GDP drop compared to America's 2.2% due to stricter, longer-lasting lockdowns, but both economies bounced back at almost the same pace between 2019 and 2022, with Canada's national income growing by 4% and America's by 5%. However, since 2022, America's economy has taken off, leaving Canada behind. The divergence isn't because of a minor hiccup, but deeper issues. Two major drivers of Canada's growth have stumbled. First, the services industry, which makes up about 70% of Canada's GDP, has been struggling. Post-pandemic, Americans initially spent more on goods, which benefited Canadian manufacturers, since around 40% of their output goes to American consumers. But as Americans shifted their spending back to domestic services, Canada's manufacturing boost faded. This leaves Canada's economy more reliant on its services sector, which mainly depends on Canadian households and government demand. Canada's economic challenges go beyond the pandemic. The oil sector, once a key growth driver, has declined, worsening a long-standing productivity issue. Over the past 2 decades, growth in output per hour has been slow. Unlike America, which has thrived from a tech boom, Canada has lagged behind. Additionally, since the pandemic, Canada's GDP per capita has risen more slowly than almost every other G7 country. Canada has relied on high immigration rates to boost its workforce and GDP. However, recent immigrants have been less skilled, and many are just temporary residents, including low-skilled workers and students. This has led to higher unemployment rates and lower income growth per person. In 2024, Canada experienced its strongest population growth since 1957. But with a 6.6% unemployment rate as of August, up from 5.1% in April the previous year, the benefits of this growth are not fully realized. Canada's economic struggles have deeper roots than the pandemic, and there's no quick fixes. Recent interest rate cuts haven't done much to improve the situation, and immigration restrictions don't address the chronic productivity issues. The dream of catching up to Alabama's economic standing is becoming increasingly out of reach. So, to recap, Canada's economic challenges include a struggling service sector, a declining oil industry, and productivity issues that go beyond the pandemic. So, is there an up and coming economic war between countries? The answer is a little complicated, but to summarize it for you guys quickly, yes. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Oh, and please, everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe because information is power.